All right, in this video, I'm gonna be breaking down exactly how I lost $52.9 thousand in 2 weeks. And you may be wondering, what the heck, how did you lose that much money? But if you don't know who I am, my name's Tucson Gilbert, and I've personally grown and scaled my own digital marketing agency to about $106,000 per month, right? Specifically, $105.8 thousand. So if we make that in 30 days, then in 2 weeks, we make 52.9. So you can basically think about it as for 2 weeks straight, I had this mistake and it cost me that amount of money. And I wanna start this video off by saying your success is determined by two things, right? One is your knowledge, it's how much you know, and then two is your actions. And what's funny about this mistake is, sure, I had the knowledge, but I also had the actions. I was doing the correct actions up until a point, and in which I stopped doing what was already working. And that's ultimately how we made this mistake. So I'm making this video mainly for my subconscious so I can say this out loud and acknowledge how kind of stupid I am, right? And get this to my conscious and pretty much never do this shit again. But I'm also making this video for you, right? So you can never make this mistake as well and just kind of avoid what I did. So a dumb person doesn't learn from their mistakes. A smart person learns one lesson from their mistake, and a wise man learns from the mistakes of others. So in this video, I'm gonna make you a wise man. And as you can see, we've got the whiteboard here, so it's gonna get pretty serious. But with that being said, let's jump right into the video. So in business, you really have three systems, right? Of course, you have more. You have like finance, legal, operations, human resources, all that, right? But mainly if you're talking about making money, there's three systems. And the first one is attention. You have your attention, then you have C, conversion. And then you also have V, which means value. And if you want to get more specific and probably say it in terms that you hear commonly, it's advertising. Right here, A is just advertising. Attention is just advertising, how you're getting people to know about what you do. Conversion, that's just sales, right? That's how you're converting the people who know about you, about what you do, and turning it into actual dollar signs. And then you have value, and what value is just product, right? So that's how you deliver the value of what you promise them in your advertising and your marketing. So all of these three things, they operate in a chain. They're all systems, right? So these three systems, they have hundreds of other systems below them, right? But they all operate in a chain. What that means is that in order for one to function, the one previous of it must function. So if we're looking at this, then the input of this entire chain is attention, it's advertising. And guess what it was that I fucked up, right? It was the input that makes the whole system even operate. So I messed up on the advertising part. And so when I said there's hundreds of systems below each system, what I meant, for example, if we're looking at advertising, well, there's systems in which you can advertise. For one, you have your cold systems, you'll have your organic systems, and then you have your paid systems. And then under those systems, there's a whole bunch more systems. So let's say we went with the paid system, right? So the thing about paid advertising is the distribution is done for you by the platform. The platforms do the distribution for you. So unlike these two, you don't have to worry about getting them out there, right? So all you have to do basically is spend money. But the key systems metrics that you have to kind of keep track of in paid is, one, you have your image. So this is basically like your ad, right? It's what you're actually putting out for people to see. Then two, you have your click-through rate. So this is basically just, people that see your ad, are they being interested by it? Are they stopping and actually clicking? And then three, you have your opt-in. So from the people that see the ad, click on the ad, are they actually opting in? So that would be your cost per lead. And then from there, you have more systems, right? So for example, from the opt-in, they can schedule or book an appointment, you know what I mean? So we'll just put schedule right there. So you have these systems, this is kind of what advertising will look like. It's more than that, but I'm not gonna get into that. Then from sales, you'll have, did they show up, were they qualified, and did you close them, right? So that's kind of how that looks. So we can basically think about these systems, when you combine them, they're a vehicle. So this is a system that makes a vehicle. Our business is a vehicle. And like any vehicle, right, you can put things in it to make it operate smoother. So let's say we had a Lamborghini, right? We can put really good fuel in it, well, you're supposed to make it run smoother, run better. And if we put bad fuel into a good vehicle, well, now we're gonna start having problems with the vehicle, right? Things are gonna start malfunctioning, breaking down. So just like anything, right? We have gasoline. That's embarrassing. Gasoline. So there's 3 types of gasoline. You have your, I believe, regular, then you have mid, and then you have your supreme, or they call it premium gasoline. So of course, we want to put premium gas in our premium vehicle, right? So what kind of gas can we put in the vehicle? And this is where I messed up. So you're about to get into the real depth of it, right? So the gasoline that I was putting into my vehicle was something I call something that is called, I don't call it, I didn't make this up. It's called a USP. And if you don't know what a USP is, that's a unique selling proposition. So it's basically, what that means, it's the reason why anyone would do business with you other than someone else. So it's pretty important. So all this time, I've been kind of using my USP, putting that as fuel into my vehicle of advertising. And it's been performing tremendously, right? It's been doing me it's been doing me well. But guess what I did, right? And so we're gonna get to the moral lesson of this video. I'm gonna say it towards the end. But guess what I did, right? I took something that was working and I was like, okay, I can make this better. And I messed it up. So what I did was I removed my USP from the advertising. I'm like, we're doing good, we can make it better. And so I took it away, and guess what happened? When you take away something that's been doing well for you, and you change it, I guess it's not gonna do well, right? And that's exactly. So pretty much we changed it and made it something else. And the real issue with this is when you take your USP out of your sales argument, your marketing, everything, you look the exact same as everybody else. And at bare minimum, what your USP should do is, if your customer is choosing between you and someone else, your USP should at bare minimum make it feel like that customer, if they do go with the other business, they feel like they're losing something, like, I don't know, that might have been nice. But at its greatest, it's gonna completely separate you from the market, and it's gonna make them see, why would I even go with them? They have this is so much better, right? And when you completely remove this from any function of your business, you look the exact same as everybody else, right? You look like you're doing the exact same thing. And in today's market, you just cannot have that at all. That's the quickest and easiest path to failure. And I wouldn't say I failed, right? I learned a lesson. So what I did is I removed it, and guess what happened? Everything in the system slowed down. So our ad stopped performing as well. Our click-through rate went down, right? And then guess what happens when with the people that see our ad, they're clicking it less, then we get less opt-ins. If we get less leads, and that means less people are booking. And if less people are booking, then that's the kind of throughput into the entire system. So if this input starts to slow down, the whole business started to slow down, right? And that's very bad, because the only 2 ways to grow in business is to get more clients, or to make your clients worth more. And guess what we weren't getting a lot more of? More clients. So it's not like we just completely made $0 for 2 weeks. No, what exactly happened? I'll be right back. I'm gonna erase the board. So what exactly happened was, in business, there's one thing that makes your entire business, this is the sole reason you even want to have this kind of business, right? And especially if you want to sell your business, this is the one thing that investors are going to look at, and this makes your entire business. And what this is called lifetime value over CAC. And so what this means is the lifetime value of how long you have a customer divided by the cost to acquire that customer. And guess what happened? If we slowed down, we stopped putting premium grade fuel into our advertising attention getting system, then the cost to acquire clients for us completely shot through the roof. So let's say the lifetime value of a client for us, or this is just an example, is $3,000, but it costs us $1,000 to get that client. And this is, don't get this confused, because this isn't just advertising costs. This is actually the cost to, let's say you have media buyers, you have a full team. This is everything in place. You have to take everything into account, because this is exactly what it costs you to acquire that client. So if we get a lifetime value of $3,000 over the entire duration that client stays with us, and it costs us $1,000, then our business has a 3-to-1 ratio. And so in all honesty, that should be the bare minimum. If it's less than that, you honestly shouldn't even focus on running that business. You should just make another business, honestly. It's not even worth it at that point, because then you're gonna try and scale, and what happens with scale is things start going down. So you don't even wanna mess with that. But what happened was, let's say it still costs us $3,000 to acquire, and all of a sudden this goes up completely to $2,000, right? This is realistically what could happen, and it is what happened. So now we're getting 3-to-2, and that's terrible, right? So profit margins start shrinking, we're not acquiring as much, a lot of bad things are happening. So basically, that is what I have for this video. And you know what the funny part about this is, I literally fixed it. Put the ads back, and guess what? The same day and the same 3-day period, things shot back up just to how they usually are, right? So I guess there's two lessons that you should take from this video. One is always have a USP. It's the reason your business even exists. And then two, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? I guess what the problem is that in business, you know, you want to make things better all the time, but you know, sometimes you should just keep things the way they are, right? Don't touch that shit. All right, see you.